Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Well, this is certainly an unexpected twist that I did not see coming, as Goku Black's return is as unexpected as it is ominous. And while it only now appears as though he is in the middle of a very intense battle with none other than Gohan, one must ponder on the significance of this encounter, for the urgency is now more than clear. Because if Gohan isn't able to put an end to Goku Black in going as far as to take him down quickly, then he will ultimately run the risk of having to lose everything in the process if he isn't careful in this battle.
As our story continues now back on planet Earth, with Goku Black being shown having to completely overtake Ultimate Gohan, as with Ultimate Gohan being shown having to be held by the head and overseeing the entire city that Black was about to destroy, was when Goku Black then went on to respond, "I want you to take a good hard look at all of this that you see before you, Gohan, for your defeat was necessary to show you the futility of your mortal endeavors. You, the son of the greatest to exist, reduced to nothing more than a stepping stone," Black continues. "Embrace the truth of your insignificance and accept the reality of what will happen to all those who you hold near and dear, Gohan. For your failure only highlights the insignificance of your efforts against the divine mortal, as your defeat is a consequence of your arrogance, your father's arrogance, and of the gods' arrogance, boy. For you have underestimated the power of a true destroyer, and you will now have to face the consequences and pay for your sins, along with the sins of your father, Gohan. Your defeat was preordained, kid, for the divine will always prevail as the pinnacle of power, with I as the very pinnacle, mortal. And here you thought that you could defeat that in which you simply cannot understand. Laughable," Black continues. "For it's clear that you lack the resolve to stand up against the might of a true god, unlike your father, which is why you must be destroyed in the name of upholding my plans," with Gohan having to utter, You will never get away with this, and you know it. As one way or another, you'll lose. Guys like you always lose, no matter what it is that you try and do in the end," with Goku Black responding, "And mortals like you are always the ones who are shown to die foolishly by trying to prevent the inevitable, which renders you useless altogether. I just want you to know that once I'm through with you and your annoying little gang of Saiyan dogs here, is when your family back home will be next," with Gohan shockingly responding, How dare you go and bring my family into this and threaten their lives, you monster! I could never let you hurt them," with Black responding, "Wait a second, those eyes and that energy that I'm sensing, could it be?" As shockingly enough, within that moment, with Black going as far as to trigger Gohan and transforming after mentioning his family, was when Black then went on to respond, "What incredible power! I was right to have looked into these Saiyans when I did, because if I didn't prepare myself for a power like this, then I'm more than certain that I would have been dead. Oh, damn you miserable Saiyans. But at least now I get to finally test myself in seeing where I stand against such a level of power, and if I'm not careful during this battle, then I could be setting myself up for an early death if I allow for him to outperform and outpower me during our battle. As it was only moments later now, standing before Goku Black was none other than an enraged Beast Gohan, as Beast Gohan went on to then address Black by then responding, "I want you to listen very closely to what I'm about to say to you, because regardless if you went and had stolen my father's body or not, resurrected or not, there will be nothing that will stand in my warpath of tearing you to pieces for daring to bring my family into this, you spineless coward. For I could never let you hurt any of them. And so I'm done playing around, because just like how you went and tried doing, I am going to make you suffer nice and slow, for you made a very dangerous mistake by coming here." I will admit that witnessing this beast form up close and in my face like this, Black went on to add, is certainly a sight to witness, but you don't scare me one bit, Saiyan, for I know all about this power and where it comes from, and as long as I am aware of what it can do in battle, then the rest will come easy once I go and crush you, for you are in way over your head, Gohan. But then, it was only just as Goku Black had went on to acknowledge Beast Gohan's power was when Beast Gohan was then shown having to quickly dash towards Black and uppercutting Black in the stomach by then responding, "You rambled on long enough and I'm done listening to you speak. Scum like you will never change no matter how many chances you are given and no matter how many times you are brought back. And although I may not have been there to aid my father along with Vegeta and Trunks when they first battled against you, I can now start to understand on exactly why you needed to be dealt with, as I'll be here to remind you that no matter what it is that you try and do and no matter how far that you are willing to go, you will never win," Gohan adds. "You didn't win then, and you certainly aren't going to win now, and that's a promise, Black." "God, don't get too far ahead of yourself, you disgusting Saiyan, but because you and I are very far from finished, do you hear me? And since you think that I am the same as what you've heard about me long ago, then let me go and show you as to why you are wrong." To where as Goku Black was now shown ascending into Super Saiyan Rosé was when Black then went on to continue, "Now witness the might of my Super Saiyan Rosé, Gohan, for I made sure to train myself in reassuring that I never fall to anyone ever again, and that includes you as well, you little worm, as I did what I never had cared to do before, and that was train myself into reaching new levels of power that go far beyond your own, Saiyan. And so you may think that this beast form of yours along with your potential will be enough to save you, but I have some bad news for you, Gohan. Even that alone will not be enough to save you from the punishment that I have in store for you." Black went on to lunge on forward by attacking, but then it was even just despite with Goku Black being shown smashing his fist into Gohan's face was when Gohan then went on to respond, "And was that supposed to be the best that your so-called Super Saiyan Rosé transformation can do, you thief? How disappointing. You went and used my father's body to do all this so-called training, and this was the best that you were able to hit me with, Gohan questions? Because I have some news for you now as well, Black, and that is it won't be enough," Gohan continues. "You are in way over your head, and you're about to find out on why," with Black backing on up by spawning his energy saber and responding, You didn't even budge. How dare you try and make a mockery of my efforts, you half-breed. Well, if you're so tough and as focused as you want to pretend to be, then stay right where you are, and let's put that body of yours to the test," Black went on to then shout by dashing. "Now may you perish by the very hands of the same being who you call father, you sorry excuse of space." But then, it was only just upon with Goku Black attempting to slash Gohan in half, only for his own energy blade to be shown being broken, was when Gohan then went on to respond, "Maybe now you'll open your eyes in seeing the truth behind what you're up against, Black, and I can see it in your eyes now that it hurts your pride in knowing that even doing your best simply wasn't good enough. But that's not possible, Black went on to respond. How is it that you are still standing like this without taking any kind of damage onto your body? But how? You shouldn't have been able to be strong enough to hold out against my attacks like this. And so what did you do? How are you doing this? But then, it only had now seemed as though Gohan had enough, with Gohan now shown jumping on forward and punching Black in the face by then responding, you know, for someone who went and had stolen the body of a Saiyan, you sure are proving on how poorly you are able to understand it, scum. And so now get ready as I show you on how a true Saiyan's body is really used like in battle, you monster. You should have remained where you were in the afterlife and had never made the choice by coming here, Black. I'll curse that mortal. He's a lot stronger than I made him out to be, but I must continue to hold out on my reserves until a little later, Black went on to then say to himself. And if I go and use everything that I have against him now, then I'll be giving too much away, for I must hold on to my ultimate transformation until the others get here. But little does this fool know that just like him and his father, that I too am getting stronger the longer this goes and the more damage that I continue to take. In which, even despite with Beast Gohan now shown going back on the attack and having to beat Goku Black all around the landscape, was when Beast Gohan then went on to continue, and it's a shame that your life had to have devolved into becoming what it is today, Black. For as a Kaioshin, you were entrusted to look after mortals, not go and try and destroy them. But what did you want to go and try to do instead of protecting life, Gohan questions? You went and tried to go and enslave it. You thought so little of the life forms that you had overlooked that your own twisted mind couldn't let go of the hatred that you held within your heart, Black. And so if you are to blame anyone else for your demise, then you have no one else to blame but yourself. So now ask yourself, was it worth it, Gohan questions? Was it worth coming back after spending all this time training just to be put back down again? It's a shame. Well, I hope that it was, because you will never be given another chance to do any of it ever again. For you disgust me. You were supposed to be a protector, Gohan continues. You were supposed to help mortals find their way into becoming better than what you thought of them, not go and try and destroy them. But yet here you are, still as bitter as you ever were before, Gohan continues. Still as proud, and yet surprisingly still as ignorant as I remembered you being. As my father and Vegeta were right to do what they did, but my only regret was hoping that scum like you was never allowed to come back, but I guess this was what fate had intended, for I will make sure to see to it that you never do. And so now say something, Gohan went on to grab onto Black's hair by lifting him on up. You had so much to say before when you thought you had me beat, but now you have nothing more to say because you know that you're wrong, and so now say something, Black. You are a fool, Gohan, for you were already dead the moment we started fighting, and you didn't even realize it yet. You won't win. With Gohan responding, is that so? Well, in that case, you are far more delusional than I ever could have imagined for someone to be, and your arrogance proves it. Which, as Gohan was then shown kicking Black in the distance, was when Gohan then went on to continue, and if that's the case, then I've seen all that I needed to see, and so this ends now. For your return onto this world has done enough damage than there should have been, and I think that you lived long enough to extract your revenge, Black. And while my dad and the others continue to train on Beerus's world, Gohan went on to land back down by responding, I'm left with no other choice than to be the one who puts an end to your terror, Black. And as I couldn't believe it when I first had seen it, but you had now given me more than enough reasons on why you are to be put to death, Gohan continues. And to bring my family into this was a mistake that you will never live to regret. And no matter what it takes, Gohan continues, I'll make sure that you go back into the very grave that you just so happen to have crawled out of. Scum like you could never be given a second chance, and it was a mistake to have you come back. But either way, if this means that I'll need to be the one to do it, then I'll make sure that you are reminded of what mortals like us are truly all about. And so let this be a lesson and a reminder, Gohan went on to charge up for the Kamehameha by responding, that while you wallow in your own self-misery and hell, that you never dream of coming back ever again. Now let this be the final chapter in your pathetic story. Whoa, hold on, Gohan went on to quickly interrupt by stopping. Something's wrong. There's something going on with his power over there, but it can't be. But then, it was only shockingly enough right before Gohan's very eyes where a gigantic explosion was now shown having to occur within the same city that they were in, as Gohan then went on to continue. What the? Oh, and just what in the world is that? He annihilated the entire city, but what happened to his power just now? His energy has completely changed and his power is completely different than what it was just a few moments ago, but that shouldn't be possible for him to go and do, especially not since I know that I had him beaten. So, was he truly serious about what he had said, Gohan questions? Was that monster truly able to train to the point of discovering a new level of power that goes far beyond any of our own here? Because if that's the case, then he had been telling the truth, especially with what it is that I'm sensing that's coming from him. In which within that very moment from out of nowhere, with Goku Black now shown having to re-emerge by unveiling his newly discovered transformation, was when Goku Black then went on to respond, "You should consider yourself honored, Gohan, for you have proven yourself worthy enough in forcing me to draw forth my true power, and now that you see it, understand that I am the first among your kind to ever go this far in evolving such power," Goku Black continues, "and since you are the first one to see it, you will now be the first one who will be destroyed by it, mortal. And while your power is commendable, it pales in comparison to what I've achieved, Gohan. For my training has prepared me for this very moment, and you're about to witness this firsthand," with Gohan responding, "Super Saiyan Rosé 3? But that shouldn't be possible, especially with how neither Dad or Vegeta were able to reach such levels on their own while in blue, and so how was it that he was able to do this if they themselves couldn't?" Gohan questions, as it almost feels too good for it to be true, but he's not lying about it either, with Black having to then continue, "So you think you know power, is that it, Gohan? Well, I'm about to show you what real power feels like. And so I hope that in these years you had went and spent your time training, because I'm about to crush you, Saiyan. And if it means that my Zero Mortals plan will need to begin with you as my first victim, then I'll gladly accept. So now understand that you may think you know all that there is to know about me, but you have only yet to scratch the surface," Black continues. "And so while the others take their sweet time, they will return to this world and find it in ashes by the time you and I are done. And so I want you to go and use everything that you have against me, because I can assure you that just like I almost did with your father and Vegeta, you will die on the same hill that they all stood on before they were saved by the Omni King, Gohan. Mark my words," with Gohan being shown clinching and getting into fighting position by then responding, "Well, this isn't good, but no matter how far you were able to push my father's body that you've stolen, I'm not going down without putting up a fight and without taking a giant piece of you with me, so you don't scare me. And in order for your plan to come true," Gohan continues, "you'll have to go through me to see it realized, which is something that I'll make sure never happens. So now come on down here and let's see what this newly discovered power is made of." To which in the meantime, when then venturing back over onto Beerus' planet and seeing as to how Piccolo, Vegeta, Broly, and Goku were now able to detect these huge energy signatures come from Earth, was when Piccolo then went on to chime in, "Whoa, hang on there for a second. Are the rest of you able to sense two massive energy signatures as well?" "What is that?" with Vegeta responding, "Yes, I can feel it now too. And from what I can tell, one of those massive energy bursts appear to be coming from Gohan back on Earth." "Yeah, I can sense his power all the way from Earth as well," Goku responds, "but there's someone else who is there with him, and they appear to be even stronger too," with Vegeta questioning, "But that can't be right. Gohan's one of the strongest warriors in the entire universe now next to us, so how could there be someone who is even stronger that's with him when we're all gathered here?" with Goku responding, I honestly don't know, but why do I get this feeling that it's someone that we may know? Because, well, that energy feels so familiar, almost almost like we've experienced this kind of force before, but who? And if whatever that is continues to grow like how I feel it growing, then Gohan won't last much longer out there against whoever that is that's with him on Earth, with Beerus having to then question, strange, Whis, is it me or does that second energy signature feel as though it's identical to that of a god of destructions, only whoever this appears to be isn't a destroyer by nature, with Whis responding, well, strangely enough I do, Lord Beerus, for I can't help but wonder now as to what that is, with Piccolo having to then shout, listen, we'll go and hold off on our training and head back to Earth immediately, because whoever Gohan is dealing with right now back on Earth, he may need our help in case things go from bad to worse out there, so we can't run the risk of wasting any more time while we still have more of it on our side here, Piccolo continues. So let's gather around Goku and head back there now. And while we're at it, just remember that we're not quite sure as to what to expect when we arrive, nor who we're going to be dealing with, so anything less than our best to aid Gohan and we're goners. So let's hurry and go while I'm still able to get a lock on this guy. Goku then went on to stick his arm out by shouting, quickly grab hold and don't let whatever this might be go and break your concentration. Goku went on to then continue, now everyone go and grab onto one another because I'm finally able to get a lock on them, so let's hurry, as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of Goku Black's Resurrection manga chapter number 11 special then comes to a close. Now you can make no mistake about the fact that with everyone now on Earth and having to save Gohan from the clutches of Goku Black, everything that Goku Black had now strived for in the shadows and having to reach the levels that he had is finally now going to be tested, as Goku Black is now seemingly going to go up against all of our heroes now together. But the more important question moving forward is, what exactly is Goku Black hiding up his sleeve that the others are yet to be aware of, as all of this and so much more will be made available right now on my Patreon for those of you out there that are members to see. So if you not only want to go as far as to support the fan manga content that you see on this channel, but also gain exclusive access to my art, soundtracks, PNGs, and so much more, then I do encourage for you guys to become a member of my Patreon today, patreon.com/UnrealEntGaming, to where I will go on ahead and leave those links located down in the description box below and pinned comment section below as well, because one can only go as far as to imagine as to what Goku Black has up his sleeve and what Goku Black has in store for our heroes now, so you do not want to miss out on what is about to take place moving forward. So again, I do want to say thank you all so much for watching, thank you all so much for your time, to which as always, if you also just so happen to be new to the channel and of course love Dragon Ball and anime, then I do encourage for you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button, on top of making sure to give this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy everybody and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.